What are you bringing to the table? I was in a forum where women were discussing about men treating their women badly after they've made so much money. And now I asked some of the women in this group, what were you doing when this man was growing? Why do we always have to talk about the man treating the woman badly because he started making money? So I said, no, this man sits up at night studying for an exam, a professional exam, or taking up a fresh degree, and you sit back there just cooking and doing laundries and cleaning the house without thinking of growth yourself. And at the end of the day, you come back crying and saying, now he doesn't rate me anymore. Yes, he's not going to rate you. And my sister, my friend, that's just the way it is. It's sad. It's sad. Yeah, it is very sad, but there's not much you can do about it. And those things have constantly repeated themselves. So I don't understand why some women would not learn a lesson. Now, when we talk about growth, I'm not really talking about you getting so much money. Like growth in all ramification, it could be like growth in a business, like pick up a new business, pick up a new handwork, or pick up something. I'm not saying go into competition with the men and try to be the same person or be more than him. It's okay to want to be more than him, but just grow in your own way. And at that, so that you don't end up saying, now he's making money, he doesn't rate me anymore. I'm sick and tired of this issue all the time, because I've seen some of those men that will wake up at 2 a.m. and be studying, and then I know some of their partners that would just be in bed, and early morning they make the men coffee and fix the water to bath, and you think that's all there is. You call yourself you're so caring, you've done so much for him and whatnot. What have you done for him? What have you done for him that he cannot do for himself? And tomorrow, when he feels like you are not on the same page as he is, socially or mentally, and you come back crying, no, enough of this crying. I know, like I've had stories, and when I read those stories on this platform, my response was, are women allergic to growth? Why were you not growing when he was growing? Why are you saying that now he has finished varsity while you were supporting him? What way did you pay his varsity fee from the first year to the final year? I'm sure you didn't. And if you did pay his varsity fee from the first year to the final year, I'm not sure you are in the category of people I'm addressing, which means you have more than enough to do that for him, which means you have done yours. But if you are sitting behind and footing this varsity bill, then I think you are stupid. But if what you've done for him was having sex with him while he was studying and cooking for him, maybe making babies for him, and you think he is going to rate you after that, I'm sorry, there are men who would rate you after that, but majority of them would not. So stop this thing of wanting to be paid back just for the time frame that you have been in the relationship with the man. It doesn't work that way. Wake up, women, wake up. Some of you are just still so asleep. I tell you something, I'm so shocked that I saw a comment like that. And what brought about this comment was that a woman was seen destroying the man's properties in the house, and in anger. So I saw this video, and someone then commented to say, this happens when the woman was standing by you when you had nothing, and now you have everything. You think you can take her for granted. And I sighed and said, no, this mentality has to be worked on. The man doesn't owe you nothing. He doesn't owe you nothing. And I tell you something, if he thinks that he has outgrown you mentally, he has outgrown you socially, I wouldn't blame him if he leaves. You are supposed to work on yourself. So I'm not going to babysit no one. I'm not going to choose my words because I don't want to offend no one. No, if this doesn't apply to you, then you can skip this message. But if it does apply to you, stop having the sense of entitlement. You are not entitled to nothing he owns, because you were there when he had nothing. No, that's not it's this. Some people are in a relationship that this might not apply to them. I do understand perfectly, like in marriages, but those I'm mostly addressing those that are into relationships and still thinking that I stood by him and all of that. No, he went through his own stage of growth. While you slept yours away, you sexed yours away, you cooked yours away while he was growing. So he doesn't owe you nothing. If he wants to move on with his colleague, if he wants to move on with people who he feels are in the same category, the same level that he is right now, perfect. And then some people would ask, I don't have money to go back to school. No, that's the mistake. It doesn't have to be school. It doesn't have to be school. There are handwork, there are trades that you could learn, there are things that you could do. There are a lot of online platforms where you could just get some sort of certification. Some of those men even want to hold conversation with you as a woman, but you can't even hold a sensible conversation. He has outgrown you. You still hold the conversation of the thin tomatoes are finished, the seasoning cubes are finished, and all of that. You can hold a good conversation. And a man wants to come back to a woman that he can have confidence in, a woman that will be speaking, and he looks at her and said, that is my woman, a woman that will speak in public, and he says, that is my woman. Not a woman who has to look at the man for the man to speak for her, because the man knows as soon as she opens her mouth, there's nothing intelligent that's going to come out, especially around the class of people that he has grown to be with. So I'm sorry, you cannot hold such men down, and you only have to do yourself a favor. Take yourself out of that equation and build yourself. Now that's all I think you can do, because if you spend another 5 years with the man, that same thing you were doing for the man, I told you he would do it for you. Still not going to grow. You were giving him sex, right? He would give you sex as well. You were giving him also airtime and all of those transport fares to go to schools and stuff. He could do that to you, but that is not growth. You have the larger portion to contribute to your growth, and not the men. So when I see people complaining about those things, I get very irritated. And like I'd mentioned earlier, I was so shocked that in this time and age, women still use such language. What were you doing when those young men were growing? You are not allergic to growth. Grow yourself the way you can. That's not like it's not rocket science. That's why you see some of you remain with anger. You never forgive your partners because you have this feeling of, I made him whom he is. You didn't make him nothing. You didn't write those exams for him. He was studying while you were in the bed, in the blanket, and doing all of the wifely duties instead of doing the same thing that he was doing. So this might not relate to some of you, like I said, but it does relate to a lot of them. This mentality of waiting for the man to make money and then come back to start spending on a woman is so flawed. This mentality of the girl child wanting to be the wife of the president irritates me so much. Why are we not training them to want to be the president? Why are we not training them to want to be in those places where they wish their men would be? You see some of them asking for money for hair and all of those things, like they time it like the urgent 2K girls. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. Run from such women. They will bring you down. Those urgent 2K women would bring you down. It's better you spend all of the thousands on a girl who can afford those things but is not able to at that point in time, than continuously spending that urgent 2K for a girl that cannot even afford it. She can't even afford that urgent 2K, and she takes offense when you cannot afford it. Run from such women. You're not gonna grow beyond where you had grown to. Leave those women. No one is going to judge you for leaving those women. Those women will destroy you. Run, guys. Run. Now, if this message does not apply to you, please do not take it personal. But if it does apply to you, I'm not really concerned if you are hurt or not. Instead, use the same energy to make a decision that's going to change your life for the better. Thank you guys for watching my video, and like, you know what I do on my channel, it's just talk, and I'm not gonna stop talking no matter whose ox is good. So guys, I hope you leave your comments, like and subscribe, and then share my video, and I'll catch you on my next video. Bye bye.